Hello everybody and welcome back to another trip report. Today I'm here at Gold Coast Coolangatta International Airport. I'm here at the domestic terminal and today I'm going to be flying from here in Gold Coast back home to Melbourne via Sydney, and today's video I'll be covering the Gold Coast to Sydney leg of my trip. Okay, so today we're going to be flying on board Virgin Australia on one of their Boeing 737-800s. So yeah, just got dropped off by an Uber. So now let's head inside the terminal here and go and check in, since we don't have very much time before my flight departs. In fact, boarding is supposed to be in about 35 minutes. So here at Gold Coast Airport, you have the option of self-checking kiosks, and you can go to a check-in desk only if you have priority. If you don't have priority, that being Business, Velocity Platinum and Velocity Gold, then you have to do self-check-in. Luckily for me, I do have Velocity Gold, but I don't have bags to check, so I might as well just use this. So let's go here and check in. Now checked in and got my boarding pass. It's going to print the other one, so I'm checked all the way through to Melbourne. So now let's go over there and head through security. Okay, so as mentioned before, check-in completed. The kiosks are very responsive and it's a really easy process. No complaints at all there. Okay, so the domestic security section is just here. From memory, it's pretty automated. So yeah, let's just go and check it out. And there also does appear to be a priority lane, which we can use since we are Velocity Gold. Okay, so security check now completed. I think the Qantas Club is just down that way after security. By the way, security, very automated, you don't need to take anything out. However, the staff there, I'm not going to say they're rude, but they're certainly not really friendly. So, yeah. Okay, so now Airside at Gold Coast, it's nicely air conditioned. There's quite a few food options here. But today, as usual when flying Virgin Australia, we're going to head to the Virgin Australia Lounge. Because there actually is one here in Gold Coast. They shut a lot of them down at airports like this. Like they shut down their Cairns Lounge in Darwin and a couple others, I think, after COVID. But they've kept their one here in Gold Coast. And I've never been here before, so let's find it. I don't know where it is, and check it out. So yeah, you'll have access to this lounge if you have Velocity Platinum, Gold, or are flying in business class. Okay, so just walking up these stairs, and just checked in to the lounge. No idea what to expect here. Oh, looks like there's some tarmac views. First impressions, I'm impressed. We'll have a look at the food and drink options in a second, but my oh my, am I happy with this view. Okay, so I've just found a seat where I can charge my devices. The view of the tarmac here is something you can't see anywhere else in Gold Coast Airport, so I'm very excited to see that. If you happen to have a plane pulling in here, that'd be ideal, but can't see more than 4 gates or so. Can't see one of the international gates. There was actually Jetstar 787. They're heading off to Tokyo, so let's go through the food. Pumpkin soup and bread. Some other meals, sandwiches and salads put together there. Slice, chips and stuff, and some cheese and some cheeses for the cheese board. some wine too. So after 12 p.m. they do serve wine here. There's soft drink dispenser, and there's some potato chips, some juice behind there, and here's barista coffee. And there's a couple of biscuits and some water and stuff here too. So overall, look, it's a smaller lounge. So considering the size of the lounge, I actually think the selection here is definitely acceptable. And if anything, a little bit more than what I expect, but it's definitely nothing extravagant. That was my plane for today that just touched down. My plane for today is just taxiing in from Sydney. My plane is Victor Hotel, Victor Uniform Zulu. It's a 2011 built Boeing 737-8 FE, delivered brand new to Virgin Australia. This will be my ride down to Sydney. As are most Virgin 737s, in fact I'm pretty sure all of the ones that were delivered originally to VA are configured with the old economy cabin. Okay, so on the board my flight says go to gate, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Had a nice stay at the Virgin Australia lounge here in Gold Coast. Didn't have long, but even though I didn't have long, still had a nice stay, and I can recommend coming here if you have the chance. Okay, so here's gate 18, directly outside the gate, and just here is gate 19. Gate 19 is the gate where our plane will be going from today. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that they have priority here. Oh, and we're actually stepping into the international section. So let's actually just have a really quick look at what it looks like. I think you actually do check in at the domestic area, but yeah. Here's part of the new international terminal. Looks pretty nice to me. There's a lot of people with priority boarding.
Board to Sydney is now boarding through gate 19.
Now time for priority boarding.
Is anyone here in a party of 2? Anyone here in a party of 2 that would like to go on emergency exit, no cost? Normally everyone jumps, not jumping. Or anyone on their own that is happy, but we're just going to have to shuffle. Hey, you're happy too? No, we don't need an already one, we need a fill. Yeah, it's okay. You can't. Off you go to the back. Thank you. Go to the back. No.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome on board the Virgin 737-800. Seats are in a 3-3 layout. Today my seat is 27A. On the left side of the aircraft, we're boarding from the rear. There's a nice view towards the back of the wing. Okay, so welcome aboard the Virgin Australia Boeing 737-8 FE, seat 27A. Now let's go through the seat features. First up, legroom is a standard 31 inches or 79 centimetres. It's perfectly fine for a flight of this length. In fact, it's quite good compared to some of its competitors. Jetstar's A320 and 321neo both have 74 centimetres or 29 inches. Qantas has 30 inches or 76 centimetres. Jetstar's A321 has the worst with just 28 inches, and Rex has the same as Virgin since it's a similar cabin. So yeah, legroom's good. There's an individual seat pocket here for your own items, and there's another one here for the safety card. What's this? Looks like this aircraft might be Wi-Fi equipped now. I flew on this 6 weeks ago and it wasn't, so that's interesting. There's a menu here and a seat bag in there too. Does look quite worn actually, this aircraft, but nothing major. There's coat hooks on the side of every seat, which you can pull out like that. And then here's the tray table. Looks like the tray table is pretty clean, and it's not foldable, but you can pull it out and push it in. And then just here you have the headrest, which is adjustable up, down, and to the sides. So, yeah, overall, I think the seat features on this aircraft are pretty good. Having said that, I have just noticed, it kind of feels like the back of the seat there is lifting up a bit, which isn't ideal. I'll investigate that later. But yeah, overall, seat features are pretty good, considering the competitors. Having said that, like the legroom and the space and everything, the padding's good. However, there isn't like any device holder, cup holder, or none of that. So yeah, that could be improved. And they do have a USB port on their newest 737. So yeah, overall, pretty solid seat.
I do have the pleasure of being the cabin manager. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our Velocity members, guest seated in economy exhaust eye with the smart guests. Thank you for taking your assigned seats. If you require any assistance throughout the boarding process, please do not hesitate to ask one of the crew. You do have access to Virgin Australia's complimentary wireless entertainment through your own device. You will find additional information located at the back of the menu located in your seat pocket. Cabin crew all guests on board. Good afternoon to all, and welcome on board your service through to Sydney. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the crew, Captain Sir Ben Wagner, First Officer Craig Kelly. The crew in the cabin from the front we have Jason, in the middle is Jasmine, towards the rear of the aircraft Alex, my name is Kirk. In preparation for the safety demonstration, please pause all electronic devices still in use.
To release, just lift the buckle. When the seatbelt sign is on, your belt should stay on too. And even if the sign is off, we recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened in case of turbulence. If the cabin pressure changes and oxygen is needed, your mask will drop from above you. Immediately pull the mask down to get the oxygen flowing, remove any face covering, then quickly place the oxygen mask over your nose and mouth and slip the strap over your head. Once you're outside the aircraft, pull down on the red toggles to inflate, and for more air, blow into the mouthpieces. Your jacket has a light and whistle. Finally, make sure your seat is upright, window blinds are open, tray tables put away, and all bags are under the seat in front of you. If your seat has a leg rest or device holder, ensure they are stowed and all devices are unplugged. The crew is here to make your flight safe. So please follow their instructions as well as all illuminated information signs. Now, as we get ready for takeoff,
flight time and expected turbulence on route, it has been deemed necessary not to serve hot beverages. However, water is always complimentary. If your chocolate device is out of reach, please avoid moving your seat next to it. Remember, if there is anything else we can do to make your journey more comfortable, please do not hesitate to ask one of the crew.
Now passing through cloud level, getting a bit of turbulence. According to the captain, we'll be getting a solid amount throughout this flight. Seatbelt sign is now off, however. Finally broken through the clouds here. A lot of turbulence going through there. Stormy clouds around southeast Queensland today, so it probably has something to do with it, but yeah, actually feels like we might even be levelling off at this level. I'll let you know once I've got the entertainment loaded, but I think I saw them coming around to do the onboard service, but they're not doing hot drinks today because of the turbulence and because of short flights. Yeah, we'll have a look at that shortly. Okay, so the cabin crew just came around to hand out water, and I'm not sure, they're not asking if anyone wants to buy anything, but I think if you really want to, then you probably can. Just got myself a cup of water today, since they're not really offering anything else for free. Once again, some very minor bumps. I actually flew on the Jetstar A321neo earlier today, which should already be out of my channel, so it does actually seem quite loud compared to that, but yeah, so once again got my cup of water. Let's just have a quick look at the onboard menu. I'm not going to go through it, I'm just going to put it in a spot where you can pause and read if you would like. So you can pause and read that there, and you can pause and read this here, and yeah, here's the entertainment link, which I have managed to get working. Our cruising altitude is 38,000 feet, and we have leveled off there. We're not far above the clouds. So yeah. Overall, I've looked at the menu many times before, so I know that the prices are okay, but nothing particularly cheap. And the selection is pretty good. Very comparable with Jetstar. So yeah, let's also just have a quick look at this Wi-Fi entertainment card thing. I haven't actually managed to check out if there's Wi-Fi or not, because I got the entertainment link through the app, since I still have the app from when that used to be how you do it. So there does appear to be Wi-Fi on board this flight, which is cool because last time I flew on this exact aircraft not long ago they didn't have it. So yeah, I'll get online and show you the information about that shortly. But for now I'm just going to have my water and yeah, enjoy this bumpy flight. Okay, so as you can see on the bottom, with 29 minutes remaining until we land in Sydney, now just going to quickly go through the in-flight entertainment. So here on the home page, and by the way I'm not going to go into detail, don't really have time for it, but I will just skim through it. So here's the trending. I can tell you that through all categories there's actually quite a lot of movies, considering you know, it's Virgin Australia doesn't do a whole lot of long flights, though some of their even domestic flights in Australia are like 4 hours, but a lot of their flights are pretty short. But the few long ones that they do have is I think the same thing is offered, but even for long flights the amount of movies is pretty substantial, and I think it should be enough for a long flight, but a short flight more than enough. There's honestly so many options, and it's not the most impressive, but it is still pretty impressive nonetheless. So yeah, they have lots of movies, TV shows, books and games. my favourite part is the moving map, which you can see here. You can switch between metric and imperial measurements. And then here's the map. It is interactive, which is cool, so you can go around and look at what your flight path is. So it does appear that we might have deviated slightly around some weather, but yeah, we're going to be coming into Sydney in about 28 minutes now. So yeah, overall, it's a pretty good entertainment system from Virgin Australia. Haven't been able to get to the Wi-Fi link. Apparently, it seems like you should be able to get it, but not sure how to get to that. I have managed to do it before in the past when I flew from Canberra to Brisbane, so if that trip report's out, then check that out if you'd like to see the pricing. So yeah, anyways, should be landing soon, as I said earlier.
Purposes, please hand over all unwanted items. You wish not to take off the aircraft any rubbish that has been placed in the seat pocket or trunk. This does conclude today's food and beverage service. We have a temperature of 29 degrees for our arrival.
Tray tables put away, and all bags are under the seat in front of you or in the lockers.
As you can probably gather from that announcement, the seatbelt line's now been switched on, and we're descending through 15,000 feet into Sydney. Last I checked, when we were in Gold Coast, planes were landing on runway 34 left, sorry, 34 right. So that's probably where we're going to be landing today. Yeah, the cabin crew are just coming around once again to make sure everyone's in the correct position. Look, they're friendly enough, they're not unfriendly, but they're definitely not, I wouldn't call them necessarily friendly. I would say they're just, you know, a standard set of cabin crew. They're doing their job properly, but they're not really going above and beyond. So, yeah, should be landing in Sydney very soon. Bumpy day here in Sydney, really. Okay, so we're now on a very, very bumpy approach into Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport. Long approach, so I'm going to start concluding now because I'd like to be able to do a nice time lapse because it's going to be a nice approach, I think. But yeah, so our journey today started in Gold Coast, Coolangatta International Airport. Check-in process is quick and easy, especially since I didn't have any bags to drop. Security staff weren't particularly friendly, but they were okay, and it was pretty automated. I was pleasantly surprised by the Virgin Australia Lounge in Gold Coast. I wasn't expecting it to be that good, honestly. I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, I was just kind of happy that there was a lounge at all. But I thought it was a pretty nice lounge. It had a good mix of a little bit of everything, and enough seating. I think most of the time it shouldn't be too full there. And the views over the tarmac were also pretty nice. Boarding was a bit late. I think it was about 25 minutes late by the time we started boarding, and then got underway about the same amount of time late. Seat features, I mean, they're normal for Virgin, but I mean, it's good, but it's not particularly good compared to the other airlines on this route. However, like the bit that I sit on this seat, it's a little bit broken, so it just feels a bit funny. Whatever, I suppose I can deal with that. And yeah, in-flight service, there wasn't any hot drinks, just food and water for today's flight because of the turbulence, which we have had quite a lot of, which isn't ideal, but nothing that Virgin can do anything about, at least not that I'm aware of. But yeah, and then we're going to be landing into Sydney right about on time, maybe. Potentially actually 10 minutes late or so. But yeah, I'll confirm that once we're on the ground. Overall, I think it was a pretty solid flight with Virgin Australia. Your airfare for this route will be on the screen now. Like me, if you're like me, and you're flying from Gold Coast to Melbourne, and you're looking at potentially going via Sydney, for status credits it's quite handy because you don't really have to pay that much extra. It's probably an extra like $40 or something, maybe $30 to go via Sydney, depending on when you book. So yeah, I think going via Sydney with Virgin starts from about $130. Qantas is more like at least $220 or something. So if you're going via Sydney, it's definitely not worth going to Qantas. Even if you're going direct Gold Coast to Melbourne, you can save a lot of money by going with Virgin as opposed to Qantas. So I'd definitely rule Qantas out as being the best option. I always think that Rex is a good option, especially since they're at a very similar price as the Virgin Lite Fare. So I think if you can get a Rex flight that suits your time, then go for that. Otherwise, Virgin's a very good option, unless you can somehow manage to get on an A321neo from Jetstar, in which case you might want to consider that option too. But yeah. Anyways, now that I've finished today's conclusion, I think my conclusion would be, by the way, look, it wasn't the best flight I've had with Virgin, for multiple reasons, but it also wasn't the worst. It was just a all-round average experience. Some parts not so good, some parts pretty solid. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that Virgin's the best option on this route, but it's definitely one to consider. So yeah. Anyways, enjoy the approach and landing into Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport. Looks like we're making a turn on course for runway 34. Actually, looks like we might be on 34 left today. So yeah, enjoy the landing.
Needed for landing. Good afternoon to all and welcome to Sydney Airport. It has just gone 4 p.m. Remembering there is a time difference between Queensland and New South Wales, and outside temperature 29 degrees. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, keeping the aisle and exits clear until the seatbelt sign above you has been switched off. Take care when opening overhead lockers and do ensure you take all your belongings with you, checking the seat pocket in front. We will be arriving at gate 45. This only allows us to disembark through the forward door only. We will be refueling, therefore smoking and use of e-cigarettes is not allowed throughout the terminal, and you may use your handheld devices with flight mode turned off. We wish you a safe forward journey and warm welcome home on a pleasant day. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
So welcome to Sydney. 10 minutes late, but doesn't really make a big difference either to our connection here. But of course that will be in a separate video. now time to disembark. One of the last to get off, since we have one of these annoying gates here in Sydney. Here's Economy exit road.
Right.
See ya. Well, I've got to start my next trip report in a minute, so I think now's a good time to conclude, to finish up today's video. Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video, and like and subscription if you enjoyed it would be very much appreciated. It's not necessary, not expected. It would just help me out a bit if you wouldn't mind pressing that button. Also, check out my Instagram if you like, at aviation763_ for somewhat live updates and some cool photos and stuff. I even did a live stream of the Avalon Air Show a week ago at the time of recording. And yeah. Also, check out my website at aviation763.com for information on upcoming flights and easier navigation to certain airlines' trip reports. And last but most certainly not least, thanks to all my incredible patrons who helped to make these videos possible. This will be on screen now, and thank you so much, because I couldn't do what I do without you. So, yeah. Anyways, with the beautiful sun in the background and some not so good looking clouds over there, I'd like to thank you all for watching once again. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in my next one.
Good afternoon to you all and welcome to Sydney Airport. It has just gone 4 p.m. Remembering there is a time difference between Queensland and New South Wales.